Welcome to the Captain's Blog. I'm David McDonough, president and founder of Flagship Wealth. On this blog, we try to take what's unnecessarily complicated out there on Wall Street and make it understandable to you on Main Street. Get this, up 2% last week. Why? The Magnificent Seven over and over again. The most magnificent of the seven reported earnings last week. That's one of those names that nobody out there can pronounce. Nobody knows what they do, but get this, everybody's in there chasing it. We will take it. But we caution you out there and say it, repeat after me, class, we do not chase it. Did that momentum continue in the face of inflation numbers above expectations, in the face of the labor market still extremely strong? Those two indicators are shocking the Fed. The Fed just told you out there, folks, they want to lower rates, they want to cut rates, but they can't because the economy is too strong and inflation isn't going down. Well, all of that news and minutia, again, did the market continue in the positive way? Here's your week in review. We'll cut right to the chase. The answer is no. We actually had a negative week. Boo. It's to be expected. Yes, there was some profit taking. There was also some reallocation going on. And if you're an avid viewer of this blog, you've already done that. What do I mean by that? Again, folks, when there is one sector of the market driving all returns, and this is what I mean by that, the market, year to date, the S&P 500, is up 6%. Take out 2 or 3 of these names, and the market is relatively flat. These names are in what's called the growth sector of the market. So if you came into the year with a 25% allocation of growth, it may be 30. Again, as avid viewers of this blog know, you take that 30, you bring it down to 25, and you reallocate. And that's what I think is going on in this market right now. I will take some profit taking, especially when it's being reallocated. If the market broadens, if other sectors start to participate, this is great news for long-term investors. Here's what to look for next week. Next week, it is all about the inflation numbers. Again, folks, we know what's going out there on Main Street. Grocery prices aren't coming down. Gas prices aren't coming down. Your utilities are not coming down. Inflation is still too high. Well, the data coming out of the government is choppy. It's to be expected. What is also to be expected is for the Fed and the Fed governors to come out over the next 2 or 3 weeks and caution you out there that the thoughts of rate cuts coming in March, forget about it. May, not a chance. The market is not repricing that cuts are going to come in June. Now, it may be disappointing for equity investors. Again, lower interest rates are better for borrowing, freeing up money and liquidity in the market. But the reason the Fed is lowering interest rates, or that they will, is that the economy is slowing. That is still not the case. So be prepared for volatility. We're not counseling market timing. Don't try to sell everything in your taxable account, incur capital gains to get in front of this market. But we are counseling you to take advantage of a stock market that is bumping it up to an all-time high, because of a few names. Reallocate, rebalance before the market does it for you. There's your personal finance tip of the week. We just mentioned take control of your portfolios. I want you to take control of your investments that aren't at the brokerage firm, that aren't with your financial advisor. What do I mean by that? There's a lot of you out there still that have a 401k here and a Roth IRA here and a traditional IRA here. You don't know how it's invested. You don't know who the beneficiary is on these. We're dealing with a case right now of a client dealing with, I'll call them a financial advisor, that don't have the assets held at a brokerage firm, actually have them held at a mutual fund company. And this client, after their parents have passed away, have to go to these firms and beg to get the correct paperwork. Talk to an 800 number, somebody different each and every time. It has been a month, and they just heard that they didn't do the paperwork correctly and need to start all over again. Folks, a lot of people out there don't think they need travel agents until a hurricane comes. We believe you need a financial advisor for just this reason. One person to talk to. So we challenge you over the weekend. Look at those statements you haven't looked at in years. Find out where your assets are allocated. Make sure all your ships are sailing in the same direction. And lastly, again, make sure that there are beneficiaries on those accounts. Thanks again for checking in. We'll see you next week on the Captain's blog.